Hi, this is Maggie from Omnivore's Cookbook. Today I want to share how to make hot and sour soup just like the one in Chinese restaurant. Let's get started. Using dried ingredients is a cheap way to add texture and flavor to the soup. If you do not have any of those ingredients, you can skip them as well. Add hot water to each dry ingredient and let them soak for 15 minutes to rehydrate. Authentic hot and sour soup usually use some meat to add texture to the dish. Pork is commonly used, but you can use chicken as well, like I showed here. Slice the meat against the grain, and then cut them into strips. Again, the amount of meat only add texture to the dish. If you wish to make this dish vegetarian, you can skip the meat as well. Here we'll add some salt and cornstarch and Shaoxing wine to marinate the meat. These ingredients will keep the meat juicy and flavorful during the cooking. Mix until the liquid is fully absorbed by the meat. Now we'll be preparing some aromatics to add fragrance to the dish. First of all, peel some ginger. Slice the gingers. Arrange the ginger slices so it's easier to cut into stripes. Slice the gingers into thin stripes. And then mince the ginger. Next, slice some green onions. I usually reserve some green parts of the green onions for garnish. Then transfer the rest of the green onions to the bowl with the ginger. Now slice half block of tofu into cubes. I try to keep these tofu cubes very small, so they will add a great texture to the soup and they absorb flavor faster. Now that the dried ingredients are rehydrated, gently rub the ingredients to remove any of the dirt on the surface, and then squeeze to remove the water. You should also reserve the rehydrating water from shiitake mushrooms and lily flowers because they add a great taste to the soup. Slice the shiitake mushrooms into small stripes. Slice the woodear mushrooms. You don't need to reserve the rehydrating water from the woodear mushrooms because they don't really add any taste to the soup. Depending on the products you buy, sometimes you will find like tough spot at the end of the lily flowers. You can usually identify this tough spot from the lily flowers by using your hands, and then you should remove and discard them. I usually cut the lily flowers into half, so it's easier to eat. Beat 2 eggs and set them aside. Now we're preparing the soup seasonings by combining the white pepper and Chinkiang vinegar together. They add the hot and sour to the soup. Make sure to stir thoroughly so the white pepper completely dissolves. Now we're making the soup thickener by combining cornstarch with water to make a cornstarch slurry. When you're ready to cook, your table should have these ingredients prepared: the aromatics, tofu, marinated meat, the hot and sour seasoning, beaten egg, rehydrated dried ingredients, and the cornstarch slurry. You will also need the rehydrating water from the dried ingredients. To start the soup, measure 2 cups of the rehydrating water. Be careful, the water might have some residue on the bottom and you do not want to add them to the soup. Add 4 cups of the chicken stock. If you did not use any of the dried ingredients, you should use 6 cups of stock. Add the green onions and the ginger, and heat over medium-high heat. Add the rehydrated shiitake mushrooms, lily flowers, and woodear mushrooms. Add the tofu. Let it cook until bringing to a boil. When the soup is boiling, turn to medium-low heat. Wait until the soup turns back to a simmer. Stir the cornstarch slurry again until it dissolves completely, and add it into the soup. Stir and let the soup simmer. You will see that the soup starts to thicken. To adjust texture of the soup, you can either add more water to dilute the soup or add more cornstarch slurry to thicken it. Now add the meat. Note, we cut the meat into very small strips that will be cooked in a minute or two. Separate the meat with chopsticks or 2 forks so they don't stick together. And then add the beaten egg. I usually use a pair of chopsticks or a fork to put against the bowl, so you can make sure that the egg coming down into a very thin stream to make the egg drop effect. You want to make sure the soup is simmering while adding the eggs, so it will make it into a ribbon and not overcooking them. After adding all the eggs, you want to make sure it cooks for a few seconds so it sets. You also don't want to overstir the eggs to break them too much. Stop the heat. Now add the vinegar and the white pepper mixture. Vinegar and white pepper will lose their fragrance under high heat. That's why we'll add them at the end. You can now season the soup with some salt or soy sauce, according to your taste. And now you can add some green onions for garnish, and drizzle some toasted sesame oil to add fragrance. And here it is, homemade hot and sour soup that is hearty, healthy, and delicious, just like the one in Chinese restaurant. Thank you for watching the video. You can print the recipe by going to Omnivore's Cookbook and search hot and sour soup, or click the link in the video. I've also included some links in the caption so you can shop the ingredients on Amazon. Subscribe my channel if you want to learn more about Chinese cooking. See you next time.